Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
Matt Cardona! Oh, you crazy son of a bitch. Capitalizing off this whole We Want Cody and The Rock controversy that happened this past week on SmackDown, with Nick Nemeth saying, I ain't letting some part-timer come in here. I am the face of GCW and everything like that. Such good stuff, man. What up, y'all? It's KME the Sexy Ninja in the place to be for our Paper Saber universe. And this is the New World Podcast, brother. And we're going to talk about Collision, February 3rd, 2024. We're in Edinburgh, Texas. Tony, Kevin, Nigel on commentary. So let's do this. And before I talk about Collision, WWE cannot catch a break. No, all the Vince stuff, the investigations now, allegations and all this stuff. Then The Rock thinking I'm going to save WrestleMania by making one of the stupidest decisions and making the top star look like a fool. And I hope The Rock is listening. I hope the people's champ is listening. I put that in quotations. We want Cody. And the We Want Cody movement was huge. So hopefully this TKO board can see that. And the most dislikes, over 500,000 dislikes on that Roman and Rock segment. If you're blind to that, and you're like, no, we're going to go with Roman versus Rock, then you're idiots. You're all fucking idiots. This is some Hogananigans here, man. The Rock just comes in and is like, hey, I'm in the main event of WrestleMania. Just because we had Punk that's hurt, and he got put on the sideline and everything like that. And, I was just like, Seth could face Drew McIntyre. We could have a great story there. We could have LA Knight go after Seth. There's so many possibilities with Seth freaking Rollins that we can go, and we could have had Cody and Roman headline night 2, and that would have been mwah. But no. So we'll see what happens at this kickoff show. WrestleMania kickoff that's going to be happening I believe in Las Vegas or something like that, if I'm correct. Big press conference and everything, and what The Rock's going to say. And hopefully by that point, the board or whoever, even The Rock, listen to the people. Listen. They don't want you. No. Roman, Rock doesn't need the title. And there's also saying that The Rock's going to win the title off Roman. No. You're not the one we want. Yes, we love The Rock, but no. How do you... it's frustrating. Let's... Ooh-sa. Let's... Serenity now, damn it. Serenity now. Let's kick it off with Eddie Kingston versus the bounty hunter, Brian Keith. Great. This was a fun match, man. Eddie Keith and Brian just taking it to each other. The hits, the chops, the nasty pro wrestling that these two can bring. After Eddie Kingston gets to win, Tony Schiavone walks in the ring, and this part made me laugh because he's like, Eddie, and Eddie's like, go talk to Brian, and he talks to Brian. He's like, and Brian, just to let you know, you have won your first class ticket to being All Elite. And they pull up the graphic. Brian Keith is All Elite now, and to me, I don't know why this segment felt so funny. Because of the fact that they're like, yes, you're All Elite. No, you can't leave. We did the graphic and everything for you, so you stay here in AEW. I don't know, just the way it was presented, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But hey, Brian Keith is All Elite, and I like it. We got Moxley promo because he's talking about CMLL, and John, kick a dog while it's down. And states, yes, CMLL, you mistake us for the other show. The easy, lazy American wrestling on that show. But us, we are all elite. We are the elite. We are pro wrestling at its finest here. And I'm just like, John. No one can take the high ground like good old Obi-Wan. No one can just take the high ground. Just be like, hey, I'm up here. I'm going to stay up here. Just don't come up. Boom. But no, they had to take shots, and John took a shot. I wonder if that's his line or if that was a Tony line. Like, hey, here you go. Hechicero versus Bryan Danielson. Fun match, very technical and everything like that. Going at each other, and I love the moves that Hechicero does when he's like busts out of something and he moves his hands around and stuff like that, And it was a fun match, and I like the disrespect, too, when Bryan came out and raised Brian Keith's hand, not even acknowledging Eddie Kingston, once again being a cold, hard bitch that is Bryan Danielson, the dragon, the cold dragon. But Bryan Danielson got the win, and I'm always like, what is the point of collaborating with these promotions and then just beating them on TV? Like, I know they got CML versus the Blackpool Combat Club next week, and the Blackpool Combat Club's going to win. That's just how I feel. But yeah, it's just like, oh, we brought them over. I know it's just one of those things like, you're going to be like, hey, here's this promotion. But by the way, we beat them. Why? Because we're all elite. We're not like that other place. But I like that Hechicero attacked afterwards, and Claudio comes out building the feud between CML and the Blackpool Combat Club. Lexi's with FTR and Daniel Garcia, and they asked Daniel, like, hey, did you ever imagine y'all are trios? And he's like, no, we didn't imagine that. The DG FTR, we didn't plan for this, but Daniel's like, I'm okay with this. And I like the fact that Daniel's tied with FTR. It gives him some vets that are in the business, brother, rubbing off on him, telling him what he needs to do, because Daniel Garcia is going to be a star. I feel it deep down, and that dance is over. Daniel Garcia is over, especially when we get to our main event tonight. Hook versus the Outrunners. He requested a handicap match. Who cares? Hook won. Light in the sky. Tony Schiavone's in the ring with Mark Briscoe, brings him out. And Mark Briscoe's like, yeah, man, I've been through a lot this year, everything like that. And he calls out the House of Black saying like, yo, you attacked me, but guess what? I got back up. And I fought. And we got our hands raised in the main event last week. And House of Black comes on and they're like, hey, we will get rid of you. We will destroy you. We will erase you from pro wrestling history itself. And Malachi Black's like, hey, I love magic tricks, especially the ones that make people disappear. And I think Malachi's referring to himself. Because out of the match last week, they didn't want to do the job. They didn't want to work. They didn't want to lose the FTR. But I think Malachi and Buddy are going to slowly get back to WWE as soon as possible. He's going to be returning back to being Aleister Black and stuff like that. So let's see how those cards play out. Let's see this FTR, Daniel Garcia, if they're going to help Mark Briscoe take them on again and everything like that, because I don't think this feud is over. It also has been kind of wonky, so we shall see. Adam Copeland package. The Copeland, right? He's building his way to be number one contender again for the TNT Championship to take on Christian Cage. We're going to hear from him next week, and I think he's going to challenge Christian Cage one more time at Revolution. And I was like, okay, I don't know. They brought in Adam hot. Now he's sort of going cold, and I don't care. As much as I love Adam, it's like, yeah, this whole Cope Open thing, you're not going to lose any of these matches, but that's giving you the wins, and that's these rankings and whatnot. It's building them up and saying like, he's going to face Christian Cage because that's what we want, right? No. Honestly, when I talk about the main event, I'll tell you what I want with Christian Cage. Queen Aminata versus Serena Deeb. Fun match. I love the Queen. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. I've been becoming a real big fan, and the fact that I got her twice this week is awesome. Serena Deeb is she's growing on me as well, but she got the win here. But the crowd loves her. The crowd loves her. Tony with whose house? Swerve's house. And Prince Nana, they're in the ring. Swerve's like, hey, I got Hangman Adam Page one more time, and hopefully this will end it. It's Black History Month. I'm going to make history. And he shouts out some names that I'm very happy about. He's like, yo, I'm going to shout out Kofi Kingston. And I was like, oh, Kofi, nothing but love, man. And Athena. Athena needs to be brought up to the main roster of AEW because she is just being wasted. in my opinion. She's being wasted, and I think Athena would be a huge star, also a huge threat to Toni Storm. Athena would be dope if they brought her up, and she's vicious. Yeah, like I would love to see her, but I love the fact that he shouted out these two. It was nothing but love from Swerve, and he's gonna beat Hangman Adam Page next week, and I feel that it's gonna happen, and he's gonna go on the Revolution to face Samoa Joe for the AEW Championship. So let's do this. And I will say, watching AEW lately, I fucking miss MJF. I really do. Like I feel like there's some elements from AEW that are missing, and I think MJF is one of them. So then we have Toni Storm with Mariah May and Luther backstage cutting a promo. And Perazo, you better watch out, because Toni Storm's going to take a bite out of you, like, chop. So we got that next week. Red Velvet versus Vert Vixen. Red Velvet is stirring it up, and I want to see Red Velvet go up, 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 because she is like uber talented, especially in that ring. And that was funny. It's like the whole gimmick thing with the apron and everything like that. I was like, all right, we'll see. And what's it called? Her stirring it up. I'm like, okay, it's like, okay, I get it. I get where you want to go, and you can do it in that ring, and you're getting wins and W's and stuff like that. So shout out to Red Velvet. Next is our main event, Daniel Garcia, FTR versus Christian Cage and the Patriarchy. Ooh, what a fun match. I mean, this was honestly my match of the night. Second up to that would be Eddie and Brian Keith. So I got to say, yeah, this match was the main event. They gave him good enough time, 40 minutes, I believe. Daniel Garcia was the shining star of this match next to Nick Wayne. Those two working together and going off each other was fantastic. And I think that was the point. It was getting Nick Wayne to be, and then Daniel Garcia, the two youngest cats in this match, to really go after each other and shine. And I think Daniel Garcia shined really, really hard in this match. And I love the fact that I got a stare down between Christian Cage and Daniel Garcia, and he put his hands up to do the dance and everything like that, but they kept focusing on that. I'm like, that's what I want, AEW. I want Daniel Garcia to beat Christian Cage for that championship. I don't want Adam Copeland to beat Christian Cage for that championship, because these championships are supposed to be like, yes, we are showcasing the best professional wrestlers we got, and a championship is something that we use to move up, strap a rocket to the back of somebody and move up in the rankings, and that's a Daniel Garcia. You know, so when he was standing there, FTR put up their arms too, and that stare down alone between those two was like, that's what I want. I don't want Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. If I get Daniel Garcia beating Christian Cage for that championship, then you can go do Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland in a grunge match or anything like that. I am fine with that. But Daniel Garcia is a star in the making. So overall, I came in with passion. I'm leaving with passion. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Overall, I give it a 4 out of 5. It was a decent collision. Match of the night was the main event. Daniel Garcia, FTR versus Christian Cage and the Patriarchy. Second up was Eddie Kingston versus Brian Keith, and he is all elite. Whew, what a fun show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it, your grandma, share it, your grandma, share it, the bum down at Walmart. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcasts. Get yourself that sweet nWp logo created by Penta X, and I know I said it before, but there is new logos coming. I just got logged. I just got to get back into my Pro Wrestling Tees account. That's it. That's all. And remember, the New World Podcast is for life.
Against the supposed best wrestler in the world.
When you see him, though, you go, wow, what an incredible wrestler.
Look at that.